I'm great.
All right.
Super excited today.
It's like a holiday for you, isn't it?
It is.
I see you got your little sticker on your face.
I have several because my daughter took a whole pile and stuck them all over me.
You know, it is an important day, and everybody needs to go out and vote. And whoever you vote for, vote, because if you don't vote, you don't get to express your opinion, and that's really how I feel about it. I don't care
That's right.
I don't care who you vote for. Just vote, right?
Right. It's trying to blow winter in up here in Michigan today.
Well, that's why I put this photo in the background. What do you think of that?
I like it. I love it.
Right? I was thinking the same thing. I woke up this morning and I went outside, took my dog for a walk, and it was snowing.
You can keep that stuff.
It was snowing, and I'm going, holy cow, I don't want any of this stuff. Not yet.
Right?
Let's wait till Christmas. Let's have a white Christmas.
Right. One day.
Well, no, we need the snow because it kills bacteria and stuff like that. I mean, it really is, cold weather really is pretty good for a few reasons. So, yeah. So, last week we talked about ketogenic diet.
Yes, we did a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of good information. You passed on a lot of good information to people.
Thanks. It was more entertainment than educational, I think.
Well, I don't know. I think that if you entertain, it makes people so they stick with you and they watch it till the end, right?
Right.
Unlike if it's just totally all just all facts, right?
Yeah, you never know what that little red-haired girl's going to say.
Right on. You notice I got my new prop?
I love it.
We're on the air, live from Fargo, North Dakota.
Coming to you live from Michigan.
A secret location.
Right.
Deep in the catacombs.
Right.
Anyhow, enough goofing around. One of the big things that happens between now and the first of the year is people tend to gain weight.
Oh, yeah, all those parties.
Right? Christmas parties, family get-togethers, here in the States, we have Thanksgiving. And, besides watching football, what else do you do on Thanksgiving?
Eat. Lots of food.
Eat. Right? And then pretty much from then on till Christmas, right?
Right. Eat your way right to the New Year.
Right. And did you know that the average person gains 5 pounds between Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Oh, I believe it.
5.
That's amazing.
Some people gain more. Right?
Right.
And so that was why we kind of decided, you and I and Katie and a few others, we decided, let's address this thing early, right? Let's try and help people so they can lose weight now so they can make smart choices so that they don't get that holiday weight gain, right?
Right.
And so that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And so everybody that's watching the video right now, can you give us a thumbs up? The little heart thing, smiley face, and just let us know where you're from. Give us some feedback, and we'll try and answer your questions. Probably not during the video because what happens, we get too much feedback if we have Facebook running at the same time that we have the video running. But give us your feedback, give us your questions, and we'll try and answer them afterwards and really help you out. That's our goal, right? Right. And the more participation we get, the better it is because it goes out to more people that way. And I think that we cover a lot of things with this, and we really try and help people to realize that, it's not that hard, is it?
No, it isn't.
Since last Tuesday, Andrea, I've lost 2 pounds.
Sweet. Congratulations. High five.
Woohoo. Right? And And I feel like I'm eating way too much.
Well, if you're eating the right stuff, that works.
I feel full all the time. I go to bed and I'm like, holy cow, I feel like I ate too much today. And so then the next day I get up and I count my calories and I go, huh? I mean, even if you're using the calorie count and weight loss plan, I still fall in the category of that.
Right? Yeah, I had a good friend several years ago who weighed about 360 pounds, and I said, well, why don't we just tweak your diet a little bit? And so I put him on a popular diet at that time. And he says, I don't eat this much food hardly ever. He says, you're just feeding me too much food. He lost 8 pounds in a week. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. And so we want to lose the weight in a way that it stays off, right?
Yes, definitely. None of this yo-yo stuff, up and down.
None of that, right? None of that.
And, and the other important thing, sorry to cut you off here, but while it's in my brain, is to not burn off your muscle as you're losing weight.
Yeah, typically people lose muscle. I think it's a couple pounds for every 10 or 15 pounds of weight loss. Yeah,
that's how I got this wonderful neck that kind of hangs down here. When I lived in Florida, I went to a clinic where a doctor ran a program, and you have very limited calories. And I lost 30 pounds in 90 days, but I lost all my muscle. I looked like I was about 85 years old. And, I'm always complaining about my neck. It's like, if I could do this, that would be great. And my sister said to me one day, when your neck changed like that? She said it changed when you went on that specific diet and you burned off all your muscle. So basically, burned off all my neck muscle, and this is what I got left.
Yep.
So drinking Sisel Ripped, hoping it'll come back.
So now you're a pencil neck.
Well, I don't know what I am.
Pencil neck.
I think they call it turkey neck.
Yeah, but the neck is like, putting a ball on top of a pencil.
Yeah, maybe that's why my head won't stay on top of where it's supposed to be.
That's why you wobble around like a blonde girl.
Right.
Oops, I didn't mean to say that.
I do, though. I wobble.
Yeah, but I don't want to offend any of the blonde women.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't say that.
Sometimes I say things, I offend people, not on purpose, but.
Yeah, you're not too PC.
I am not PC at all.
But I love it.
And I'm proud of it. I just don't care because you know what? If I have to worry about that, then I can't worry about the things that are important.
Right.
Right? So if I offend anybody, hey, I'm sorry. Right?
We accept your apology. Okay,
well, let's get on. One of the things that happens with weight loss is that a lot of people, it doesn't work for them. They get to a certain point and then they quit and then it didn't work for me. This must be the weight that God wants me to be. This is the weight that my body wants me to be, things like that, right?
Right. That's what people do. They justify what's not happening instead of looking for a reason to go beyond where they're at.
They justify it with excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And, what do they say? We all have excuses just like we have butts,
I go with belly buttons.
So as we're looking at weight loss, one of the first things that I was jotting down this morning, because before I do this call, I try and jot down kind of a little outline, and I know you're not included in my outline, but
barely.
So you have to kind of just run with what I throw at you. But one of the things that I jotted down was I said, okay, so before we can really address weight loss, don't you really need to address why'd you have the weight gain in the first place?
I think that's a great place to go.
Right? And is it that we just eat too much? Is that usually the problem? I mean, is it that just somebody just goes, I'm just going to eat a cow today?
No, it's not that.
It's not that at all.
Multiple factors.
It usually is multiple factors. You're correct on that. So one of the things that I brought up as I was jotting this down is that, okay, so if we're going to address the problems that cause the weight gain, let's start with one of the most obvious, right? Lack of nutrition. People have a lack of nutrition, and people tell me they say, well, you know, how can we have a lack of nutrition with all this food that we have? Andrea, I'm going to just throw that at you. What's your answer to that?
Well, years ago, I kind of came up with my own theory, and you know how theories are, that people consume a lot of food, but if their gut is full of substances like toxins and built up stuff from being there.
Let's not go with toxins yet. I'll talk about that.
No, I'm just saying that if the gut is built up and plugged up with stuff, the nutrients can't go out into the body as easily as they should be able to. So even though you're eating, your body's still craving the nutrition. That's just like one of my theories, that if your gut biome is messed up, then you're not getting the nutrients you need.
Right. But even before we go to that, what about the fact that our food doesn't have any nutrition in it in the first place?
Right. You can go out on the Department of Agriculture site, government site, and look up like how much calcium is in this product versus before. You know, like back in the 60s even. I mean, it's extreme amounts of less nutrients in our fresh produce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, so like, for example, one of the things that I've read about is that if you take a head of lettuce, right, and most people, they don't really think, well, how much is nutrition is in lettuce? You know, I mean, it's just kind of a filler. It's green. It gives you some nutrition. But compared to today, if I take one head of lettuce and I compare it to 1954, 1955, the mid-50s, they've shown that a head of lettuce has 1/12 of the nutrition that it did 50, 60 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And even our meats, you know, my grandmother would have been, I don't know, around 100 and some years old now. But she used to tell us all the time, just chicken doesn't taste like chicken when I was a kid. You know, because the chickens are out eating more nutritious vegetation, right? And
bugs
more
and
everything. Bugs.
They were eating wood ticks, deer ticks.
Right. And, you know, now they're not. They're caught in cages and, you know, bred fast and puffed up fast, and their meat hasn't got nutrition in it. She used to complain about that all the time. She says, chicken just doesn't taste like the chicken when I was a kid.
Yeah, it doesn't look the same either.
I'm sure it doesn't, but I don't know. I wasn't there when she was a kid.
I wasn't either, but you know, you and I are about the same age, and I remember when we'd slaughter chickens at my grandma's house, the meat looked different. It had a different color even.
Well, there's definitely some meat in the stores nowadays that you kind of gotta wonder if it's really meat.
Right? Where does this come from?
Right.
Right.
You get this giant chicken breast, you know, and you're like, I don't know any chickens that have breasts out yet.
Right? Oh,
I think they inject them with something.
Well, my dad's friend bought some little chicks, and he was going to raise his own chickens and then slaughter them in the fall. And so he bought these chickens, and then he bought this commercial chicken feed, and I guess he gave them too much of the feed, and so the chickens, they got so big, like basically in a month. They were so big, they couldn't even hold themselves up. They couldn't walk. Yeah,
that's what happens.
Right? I mean, and then you still ate them. Can you believe it?
They did the whole chicken farming thing years ago. It didn't work out so well.
Right? Yeah. So, you know, so we have poor nutrition. We're not putting the nutrients back in the soil, and so the plants aren't growing with the nutrients in them like they should. And what ends up happening is that we have all this non-nutritious food. We feed it to the animals eat it, like Andrea and I were just talking about. And now all of a sudden you have meat that's non-nutritious. That doesn't have the vitamins and minerals. It doesn't have the things in it that it used to have. And not only that, the fat is messed up, right? And so now you have more of the bad fat and less of the good fat.
Right.
You know, I mean, back in the old days, they say 100 years ago when you ate beef, it had a balance of the omega-3s, the omega-6s, the omega-9s, omega-12s. They were all balanced out. And now you get a lot of the bad omegas.
Yeah, because they use so much crap in processing food.
Yep. Well, and then on top of it, you know, you talk about crap in food, right? I mean, they're feeding the animals all this toxic stuff as well. They're getting all these toxins, and most toxins are fat soluble, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But so what ends up happening is then now these toxins are fat soluble. You eat that hamburger, right? And guess what they do with the fat when you get hamburger? It's ground in there, right?
Right.
It's mixed in there. So you don't really know. And then you go buy a steak and you go buy most steak. People like to have steak that they call marbled, right? It's got the fat that goes through it, and it makes it so the steak is tastier as far as like what you know, most people think as tastier steaks. But boy, I tell you what, I like lean meat. I like lean meat. That's why I like wild game, deer, venison, things like that, because it's lean.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And when I'm cooking it, like this morning, you know, I was cooking up some meat with some of the eggs that I had, and I had to actually add fat. You know, you can't cook it up without adding fat to it. So I get to choose the fat that I'm using, right? So I add good fat.
That's good.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, people might say, oh, man, yeah, but that's not going to be good for you. Well, I mean, I've lost 2 pounds. I feel full. You know, I have good color. My hair's not falling out.
Yeah, that's kind of a fallacy that's been pushed on us for 60 years, right? Fat's bad for us.
Yep. And so, I mean, that really, yeah, they tested it in a test tube, and test tube fat isn't the same as body fat.
Right.
You know, and that's the whole thing. So we have to look at that, and we have to say, hey. But, you know, so one of the things that then we're talking about is lack of nutrition. So as we're putting on this little seminar on nutrition, then what would be one of the supplements we'd want to add to people's diet?
I would imagine minerals.
Minerals. So what product would you recommend for minerals?
Spectrumax.
Right on. And Spectrumax has 74 trace essential minerals. And when we say trace, what does that mean?
They're minute, I guess, or hard to get.
A little bit, yeah. We don't need much. You don't have to throw in the whole, you know, garbage truck or whatever. You know, you just put a little bit, right? And so trace minerals, essential. They're essential trace minerals. What does essential mean?
You must have them.
Bingo, you must have them. And so what happens is that if you take a look at most nutritional supplements on the market, they might have a dozen, they might have, you know, 18. I think I've seen one that had 24 minerals in it, but they don't have much more than that. So let's just say they're using a good quality mineral, which most of them aren't, but let's just say they have a good quality mineral and you know, kind of run with that. They're still only running less than 24, and you need 78. So what happens? You're deficient.
Well, yeah, you're deficient, and it's causing malfunction in your body.
So what happens as far as your hunger and that? Because see, here's the thing that I try and tell people. Like if I went to China, I don't know Chinese. You could have people talking to me all over the place, and guess what I'd hear?
Blah, 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 blah.
Right? I wouldn't know a word that they're telling me, right?
Right.
And so if your brain sends you a signal and it says, Andrea, you need more vitamin D, what do you hear?
Blah, 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 blah. Right?
Right? Because you don't speak Chinese. You don't speak the language that your brain is sending down. You don't know how to read that signal. So what do you feel it as? You feel it as, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So what do? Eat.
Eat.
you grab food, right? And you start eating because you think, oh, I'm hungry.
Yep.
And you're grabbing this non-nutritious food, and it temporarily makes you feel like you're full, that you've satisfied the problem, but did you really satisfy the problem?
No, you satisfied the trigger that you're getting.
Because you thought that they were telling you eat, right? That's what you heard. You didn't know that. You didn't know the language, and the language was actually saying, Andrea, you need more vitamin D. Okay.
Right. And
so when you start eating, right? Visual, like my buddy Billy would say, can I see that again? That's how I eat. I don't use a spoon. But, right? Sorry,
pick up those antelope legs and just gnaw away.
Big cob of corn. But so as we talk about these things, and we got to make kind of fun of it. It's kind of funny. But so what ends up happening is then you start eating more because your body's sending a signal and you don't know the language. And so you eat more and you get all this nutritious, non-nutritious food. And what it does is it converts to fat in your body, because guess what your brain thinks? Because now your brain doesn't understand your language. And what does it do?
It stores it.
Right on. Because
you're giving it.
It thinks you're starving. So now your body thinks you're starving. You're getting too much food. You're making all this fat. You need nutrition, so your body says, get more. You're hearing the wrong language. You eat more. You get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Bigger.
Right.
It's just kind of a cycle that we get into, isn't it?
10 pounds for every decade.
Yeah. If you gain 10 pounds for every decade, right?
Right.
By the time you're 50 years old, and let's just say you started this cycle when you were 20, right? That's 30 extra pounds. 30 extra pounds.
Say that's where the average person is at.
And that's what happens. And then we sit here and we go, oh, why can't I lose weight? I'm eating right. I only eat good food. I don't eat all that. I don't have Ho-Hos, and I don't have Doritos, and, all those O's, Cheerios. And
and I've seen things where, people, we had this huge thing over the last almost two decades, eat salad, eat salad. Sometimes people sit down with a bowl of salad and they have no idea there's 1,000 calories in that bowl of salad that they just sat down with.
Right. Because and the calories, it may not be as important, because it might be that you have good food in there, adding good calories, like good fats and things like that. But what happens is most people don't use that. And to make the salad taste good, guess what they dump on top of it? Sugar. Well, no, most people don't dump vinegar and oil on it. That's not what they use. They use like this ranch dressing with lots of sugar, right? You ever look at the nutritious content of salad dressing?
Yeah, I check sugar content all the time.
I know you do, but do most people? Do you? Pointing to everybody that's listening to us right now. I mean, let us know. Give us a thumbs up if you do. Give us a smiley face if you don't. I mean, come on. And so we're eating all this bad food. We're getting fat. The fatter we get, the fatter we get. And we can just, and that's the vicious cycle, is that really the fatter you get, the fatter you get.
Right.
And so now all of a sudden we're talking about minerals. SpectraMax is a great product. If you're not with Sisel, let me know. I'll send you some information on SpectraMax. It's a great product. It's got lots and lots and lots of nutrition. It's got 40 antioxidants. It's got 74 trace essential minerals. And then a product that kind of goes along with it that helps with nutrition is Encompass 360.
Right. Your daily supplement.
Yeah. And Encompass 360, it's not just like your daily vitamin. It's not like what you're going to run down to the store and you're going to buy it off the shelf. I mean, it's a good vitamin.
Right.
It's got packed with nutrition. It's got some more antioxidants. It's got some more minerals, and it complements the Spectrum X. That's what it was designed for.
You know, and we're kind of talking about signaling here too. A lot of people, well, most people I think have heard that sometimes you're just thirsty. You think you're hungry, you get that trigger, but it's really that your body's thirsty. And how many people actually drink their recommended amount of water? Water is used, you know, some people think that water is just going in there and being this liquid that you need. It's actually energy.
That's right.
Water, energy.
Yeah, but the signal that goes in the ear again, it's like Chinese. It's like me going to China, right? And I don't mean to offend any Chinese people. I could be talking Japanese or I could be talking Eskimo, whatever, right? And I don't want to offend any Eskimos or Japanese people either. But I just don't understand the language, right? And I went to Germany a few years back, and I didn't understand the language at all. And I'm just like, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, come on, don't you speak English? And
Right.
But and so you're hearing these wrong signals, these messages, like Andrea was just talking about. We don't get enough water. So then all of a sudden, because you're not getting enough water, you're reading the message. You're thinking, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat some more, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And people go to eat, and then when they drink, guess what they drink? They don't drink water.
Right.
What do? They drink pop,
Right.
soda, things like that. I mean, what is the average person? I think I read last year that the average American consumes 160 pounds of sugar a year.
That's a lot of sugar. Compared to our previous ancestors, I think it's huge amounts of sugar because the food industry has learned to put it in everything.
Yep. Why?
Because they want us addicted to it.
Yeah, because when you have excess sugar in your body, guess what? You're hungry.
Mm-hmm. Big Pharma loves that too.
It sends that signal. It says you're hungry, so you eat more. Mm-hmm. They sell you more food, right? I mean, I listen to these people say, well, you know, if we don't produce all this food, how are we going to feed the world? Well, maybe if we cut back on the amount of food that people ate, right, we wouldn't have to grow so dang much. I don't know. It's just my.
I just saw a population map, and they stated that based on the population of, I think it was New York, if you took everybody in the world and stuck them on New Zealand, they'd all fit or something like that. So,
I saw that too on Sunday night. You could, if everybody had the concentration of population they have in New York, we could fit the entire world in New Zealand.
Yeah, so we're not overpopulated.
No. We're far from
plenty of resources. If you don't think so, go behind a restaurant, see how much food gets thrown out of every restaurant every night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all a fallacy and things like that. But again, we don't want to offend anybody. If that's your belief, just go with it. Go with it. Right, Andrea?
Oh, I'm into enlightening people.
Yeah. You don't mind offended people. I kind of got
You know that. I'm a truth seeker.
So, you know, I mean, we've covered one thing. We've covered the lack of nutrition in our food. So, you know, I know we're going to run over here a little bit by a little bit, but, you know, whatever. I mean, again, let's just see what happens here. So, you know, the other thing that we were talking about is that, so if you're getting all this stuff and you want to burn that extra fat, right? So now all of a sudden you start getting into good nutrition, and you're actually getting nutrition. Are you going to necessarily lose the weight and get down to goal weight?
I don't know about that, but, you know, you got to believe that your body is going to start functioning better.
Your body's going to function better, and you're going to lose it, and eventually you will if you live long enough. You know, you will. But
it'll creep up like it creeped on.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, if it took you 10 years to gain 10 pounds, you know, and it took you 30 years to gain 30 pounds, you know, then it's going to take you 30 years to take it off. Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you that most people aren't going to live long enough to do that, because when they were gaining all that weight, guess what? They caused some medical issues. They caused some health issues. And so one of the things that I like to talk about is that we got to correct the medical issues at the same time. And so that's where the age pill comes in. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need the age pill, right? Because what does it do? It removes glycation. What does glycation do? For those people that don't know.
Oh, glycation is a buildup of like sticky substance on the proteins in your cells. It causes malfunction of those cells.
Right? We're on the air yet.
Yeah, I see that.
But, you know, it does. It sticks to the cells, and that glycation, it makes the proteins so that they don't work properly, and it clogs up different things. And all of a sudden, your stem cells just can't work. And people ask me all the time, well, can you describe stem cells really easily? Sure, I can. If you've got damage in your body, stem cells are the repair cells. That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know. You don't have to get into a big, long science about here's what it's done. No, they're the repair cells. And if your stem cells aren't working because of glycation, you're going to have problems.
Right. Well, you taught me something this year where you were talking about when you have toxins in your cells, they're plugging up the gates where the nutrients come in and the waste goes out. So let's say you're low on magnesium and you can be popping magnesium pills all day long, but they're not getting into the cell. It's not getting into the cells where it's going to do the work because you have toxins built up in those cells plugging up the gates of entry.
That's right. That's right. And so here you have all this good nutrition, but it's not going into the cell. Right?
Right.
So the age pill helps out with that. The other thing is that, you know, we've got all this stuff that we call glyphosate, right? Pesticides, DDT, all these different things, and it's out there. We haven't used 2,4-D or any of these things for since the 70s, but it's still out there. I mean, and it's in the soil. It doesn't break down like Tom's been talking about. It doesn't break down, so it gets in your body. They're finding glyphosate in our cells, in our body, and when we get that, what it does is it makes it so that the cells don't operate properly. So they found in a study that I was reading this last weekend, thanks, Marilyn, you're the one that actually pointed this study out to me. Marilyn from down in Australia, she pointed this out, is that fulvic acid can pull out glyphosate. Isn't that cool?
It is. I saw that posted this week on social media. There's a certain amount of things in our food chain that we can take to get rid of it.
Yeah. And guess where fulvic acid comes from? We know it's in Spectrum Max because it helps you to absorb minerals. We know it's in Body Shield because it pulls garbage out of the cells and it pushes nutrition in, right? You like how I show that? Pull it out, push in the good stuff, right? But it's in our product. But where does it come from? Well, it's from when here the leaves have all fallen here up in Fargo, and all these leaves are laying on the ground. By springtime, they'll all be kind of decayed, and so when you see those decaying leaves and things like that, and that, it gives off fulvic acid. That's where fulvic acid comes from. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and so that's how trees replenish themselves so that they can absorb minerals out of the soil, because that fulvic acid dissolves the rock. That's why, like on this photo we have here, we have trees that can grow in sand.
Right.
And they basically replace themselves by producing their own nutritious value by the fulvic acid. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And that fulvic acid pulls the glyphosate out of your body, and that'll help. And so one of the things that they've shown is that if your toxic burden is way high, if it's way high, what happens is that your body won't burn fat, because guess where most toxins are stored?
In your fat.
In your fat. So what happens is if you start burning the fat as energy, the toxins that are stored in the fat, guess where they go?
Tell me, did they just get released in the system?
Bingo, they get back into your system. So now all of a sudden, you've got these concentrated fats, or these concentrated toxins being released back into your system, And guess what happens when some people start losing weight?
They get tired, I would imagine.
They get what they call the toxic flu, the detox flu, right? They start having symptoms. They go, oh, I can't stay with that diet. I'm getting sick.
Right.
Right? It must not be good for me.
And actually, they're like releasing toxins, and you can take stuff to get rid of the toxins, become much healthier.
That's right. So when you're doing a weight loss, especially in the beginning, what's a great product to take? Super Detox.
Yes, Super Detox.
Right? Because it removes that mucoid plaquing out of your gut. John Wayne, what do they say? He had 75 pounds of mucoid plaque in his gut when he died. They say that might have been what killed him.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
Elvis had 50.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that, and this is just a little side note, did you know that before Elvis died, one of the things that they were contemplating is they were going to do a colon removal on Elvis. They knew that that was one of the problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were going to give him a colostomy.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, but I do see a correlation between the build of John Wayne and Elvis in their later years.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Big stomachs.
Yeah, like Elvis would say, thank you very much.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, that toxic burden is really, really important. And so we want to talk about that. So if you're having a little bit of issues and you start getting that toxic flu, think about the Super Detox. Add that to your program.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's a product you just take like about every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah. And if you're doing some rapid weight loss, what I might tell you is take it a little bit more often. You know, because you're going to be burning this stuff, but you know, then you want to take the body shield to pull it out, push nutrition in, pull it out itself, push nutrition in. Right. You know, you got to get that hand gesture in there so you can show people, you know, how to do it. Let me see you practice that.
And we have that new product coming out this month that helps with toxin removal too.
Well, and the Super H2 sticks. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's the next product that I actually want to talk about. Is that one of the things that also causes weight gain is also, it's called low metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat that after me. Low
metabolism.
Low metabolism.
Very low.
Low metabolism. You know, folks, say we're on the air, right? Give us a thumbs up, smiley face, you know. Let us know where you're from. Give us the feedback. You know, but so Super H2, because it's got hydrogen in it, hydrogen is going to bump your metabolism up. So it's a great product. It's easy to use. I did that video. I mean, wow. Did you see that?
I did.
For 90 minutes, it was producing so much hydrogen that I had to keep releasing it from the bottle. And then I'm going, oh, man, I'm heading back out to the deer hunting stand. Come on. Won't it just quit? I'm trying to speed it up so I can get back out where I wanted to be, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't.
Well, you know, too, the hydrogen water, like we reviewed that last week, 27 discovered benefits from that, not just boosting your metabolism.
Right.
Brain support, lung support, eye support, all kinds of fantastic benefits.
Oh, man. You know, speaking of eye support, I got to bring this story up for everybody that didn't read my post last night. My son called me yesterday. 3 years ago, he was told he was going to go blind. When he was,
I remember. You told us that. Yeah.
When he was 24 years old, he was told he had just graduated from college, and he was just going to get out in the world and start making his mark, and all of a sudden he's told he's going to go blind. And they wouldn't even give him a new prescription for his glasses because they said that his vision was so messed up.
Wow.
So
that must have been really scary.
It really was for me, his mom, his grandparents. I mean, he was just scared as hell because, you know, here he thought he was going to go blind. And so he started taking the age pill. And it was doing a little bit. He was seeing a little bit of changes. And then here a couple months ago, you know, he's only 24, so we didn't put him on the double dose. We put him on single dose. But here about a month and a half ago, I told him, I said, why don't you double dose? Let's see what happens. Guess what? He went to the eye doctor this week, and his vision is back to where it was prior to that diagnosis.
Awesome. That is such great news.
Yeah, I'm so excited, Andrea. So I just had to bring it up because you talked about vision. But And folks, I know we're running over. We're about 15 minutes over time, but you know what? I just got to keep going because this is important stuff. This is things you got to know. So what about medication? Did you know that a lot of medications will cause weight gain?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tons of them. Yep.
Antidepressants cause weight gain.
Yep.
If you're on an antidepressant, what do they say? It's like 30 to 40% of the population is on antidepressant medication.
And all they need to do is go out and chop some wood and they'll feel better.
Go out and chop some wood. Yeah, but they might live in Texas where they don't need wood.
Well, they'll have to pick up shells. I don't know. They got to get some physical activity in there somehow.
Right, yeah. Go do something, right? Diabetes medication causes weight gain.
Big time. Big time.
Corticosteroids like cortisone, prednisone, that causes weight gain. Seizure medications, migraine medications. If you have migraines, 80% of people in this country have problems with headaches, and they take medications. And a lot of people have migraines. They take medications that causes weight gain.
Right.
Beta blockers, which is a heart medication, that causes weight gain. Allergy medications. I didn't know this. I was looking it up this morning. Again, folks, I look this stuff up. I don't just sit here and just spew everything out, right? I look it up. Zyrtec, Benadryl, Allegra, Claritin.
So, basically, from what you're saying, we could say almost all medications cause weight gain.
Right? And, we could possibly say that, right? It's one of the side effects. Medications, what do they say? The average medication has 6 known side effects. Known side effects, right? Well, let's look at stress. Andrea, people are stressed out today. You turn on the news, you turn on the internet. What do you get? You get blah, blah, blah. All these, the
negative news, right?
Yeah, the Republicans fighting the Democrats, the anti-vaxxers fighting the vaxxers, this fighting the that, and you like that visual? You get it?
I get it.
And guess what that does in your body? It causes cortisol levels to go up, and when cortisol levels go up, it causes increased appetite. And guess what you crave when you have cortisol-caused appetite?
I believe it's carbohydrates.
Junk food, right? And when you eat junk food, it causes increase of weight where?
In your stomach
area. Fat, right? And
abdomen area. Mm-hmm.
And it's just bad. And then what happens is that the cortisol messes up the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands cause a problem with the pancreas. The pancreas causes a problem with insulin. The insulin causes a problem with muscle metabolism.
And suddenly you're pre-diabetic.
Right. Caused by stress.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the damn news off.
Right.
And get up in the morning and do like I do. Get up in the morning, have your vitamins, have your nutrition, have your breakfast. Go out and play catch with your dog. If you don't have a dog, pretend you have a dog. Just throw a ball and go retrieve it yourself. Whatever,
Right.
Take your cat outside. Play with him. I don't care. But
go for a walk every day like you do.
Yeah, go for a walk. Do something and don't turn on the internet right away. You don't have to see who liked your post on Facebook from last night right away. It's not going to change your life.
Right.
Right? And then get in a conversation with somebody. If you don't know anybody, go online. Somebody will talk to you. They might increase your stress, but they'll talk to you.
So we need to be purposeful about eliminating stress, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and get your stress levels down. Start eating right. Consciously start thinking about, and I'll tell you what, folks, the thing that I found with myself is this, and I think, Andrea, you'd agree with me, is that if you take and you just say, oh, man, I'm 30 pounds overweight, and you go around all day, that's what you think about, guess what? Chances are you're going to be 31 pounds overweight tomorrow.
Right. Well, the stress, and then you're also, I posted some training last night. We are controlled by our tongue,
Yep.
We're controlled by what we self-feed into our minds. So if you're constantly saying, oh, I have this issue, I have this issue, I have this issue, you're highlighting that issue in your life and sustaining it, basically.
That's right. Hey, folks, we're on the air. We're on the air. We're live. Give us a thumbs up, smiley face, a heart. Tell us where you're from. Give us your feedback, right? And, you know, and Andrea, you're exactly right. You are what you think about the most. You get what you think about the most. And if you think about being overweight all the time, that's what you're going to think about. So what I try and install in people's brains is this, right? Is that what you want to do is you want to think about all day long, what can I do today to make myself healthier?
Right.
What can I do today? What if that's your thought that's running through your head, right? And you go out to eat and you sit down to eat. You're going to think about it, right? You're going to consciously think about it.
What if you made yourself a note that said that and put it right on your mirror so it's the first thing you saw in the morning when you went in the bathroom?
Yep. You know what I have on my mirror? I have a little note that's tacked on, taped on my mirror, and it said, "Have you ever thought about living forever?"
That's cool.
Right? I see that every morning, every night. The last thing I see, it's the first thing I see in the morning, and that's what goes through my head. That's what goes through my head.
So let's put a challenge out to people to have them write down some positive thing that is a statement of where they want to go or what they want to change. Hang it on your mirror today.
That's right.
And do it for 30 days. See what happens.
And do it in a question form. Do it in a question. What can I do today? What can I improve today? Right?
Right, because you had shared that before. Your brain will try to figure that out for you.
That's right. Well, Andrea, here we are. We ran over time by 20 minutes. And, you know, folks, I'm sorry about that. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it, whatever. But, you know, again, I thought it was important enough that we needed to get through all of this information. Andrea, I'm going to let you close out the call.
I'm out of here, I think, because I've lost my quality of streaming.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. Bye-bye.